the most difficult classes that you can ever handle is the early grade classroom. That is from preschool to grade 3. You know, in this environment, okay, you have to come down to the students' level to let them understand whatever you are teaching. But these teachers are mostly underrated. Most people feel like if a teacher is teaching in this particular area, that's the preschool to the grade 3, this teacher is done ahead, but that is a misconception. Okay, in today's lesson we are going to look at how to teach if you find yourself in an early grade classroom, or probably you're reading an early grade program and you don't know how to even begin your lesson. Today's lesson we are going to look at OWAP. Okay, when you come down to the lower primary and the upper primary, these days they learn OWAP, history. OWAP is the same as our world, our people, and then they learn history and then Arabic. The OWAP and the Arabic looks quite similar. Okay, mostly the topics that you're going to find in OWAP, you probably meet them in the Arabic section as well. And so with OWAP today, we are looking at natural and man-made sources of what? Light. Now, before you even teach this topic to students like these preschool kids, the class 1, KG2, for them to understand, you need visuals. Trust me, if you don't get these things, it will be very difficult for them to understand whatever you're teaching. But thankfully, during the day, the sun is out, and so you can use the sun as one of your TLMs. You can also draw an image of the sun on a cardboard, draw stars, or you can go into the classroom with visuals, okay, images, pictures, videos. Kids always grab things they see and then they are able to store it in their memory. So getting any of these things will help. Or you can begin with a starter like a poem. Since we are looking at sources of light, you can give them the poem, I see the moon and the moon sees me. I see the moon. With early grade, please, when you're teaching, do not rush. Even if you teach one sentence and the students are able to grasp it, that's perfect. You've done your job, okay? You don't have to rush. You can even use a week to teach natural and man-made sources of light. As long as they are able to grasp the concept, that is your job. You don't have to rush through like the JHS students, okay? So teaching them the poem, I see the moon and the moon sees me. God bless the moon and God bless me. Or you can go for twinkle, twinkle, little stars, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. And so you can move out with the kids. You can go outside, or probably in the classroom, you find a place where the sun throws light into the classroom. So you can just stand at where the sun is throwing the light and then use that to teach them sources of light. So the sun is a natural what? Is a natural light. Okay, these, when we say something is natural, it comes from what? God. It's nature. It is not made by man. And then with the man-made, another name for man-made is what? Artificial. So when they hear somebody say artificial, that means it was made of man. Human beings sat down and made all these things. So with a natural light, you can give example like the sun. Now they know where the sun is coming from, okay? So you can give example like the sun. Also, probably you've shown them videos and they know the stars, the moon and all that. So you add the stars and the moon. So all these things are examples of what? Natural light. Now, whilst you are teaching, also let them get the concept or the word, okay? You can use it as spelling. So you introduce flashcards. So you pronounce the word sun. You pronounce after you sun. Stars, stars. Moon, moon. After you're done, you can call one of the students, the one you realize that he or she grabs the concept very well. Students are very, very observant, okay? So you call one of the students and then the student will show the flashcard. When I talk of flashcard, this is what I'm referring to. really make a TLM for this lesson, but then let's use this. So you can cut, you probably write SUN, sun, and then you cut it into smaller pieces, and then they'll show it. So that's what we call a flashcard. Okay, all right. So now, once the student comes and then is able to pick out the card and then pronounce the word, you see other students will be attentive because they know that at the end of the day, when this student is done, they are going to clap for the student, or probably you're going to give the student a toffee or a pencil or eraser. Students at this particular area loves motivation. Okay, so when a student realizes that if he or she is able to pronounce these words correctly, he or she is going to be awarded. Trust me, all the students in your class would want to partake in this exercise. So these are some of the things you do in the early grade classroom. Now, having gone through the flashcards, that is the sun, moon, and all that. Now we come to the man-made sources of light. So with a man-made, you can go into the classroom with a torchlight, a candle, lantern, bulb. Okay, if you don't have the finances, to provide all these things, you can improvise with images. You can download some on your mobile phone, on your laptop, and then show it to them. So now at this point, they know that natural sources of light include sun, stars, moon, and then man-made include candle, lantern, and what? Bulb. I'm not saying only these things are man-made. You can give more examples, okay? Having known the differences between these two, now the kids understand man-made and the natural. You can use this anytime you go into the classroom, like the poem, okay? Anytime you go into the classroom, you can start, I see the moon. Immediately you say, I see the moon, the kid will they'll all start singing. And some of the kids, whatever you teach in the classroom, when they go home, they keep reciting it over and over again. This makes their parents aware that probably this is what they learned today. That's why this kid is singing this poem or reciting this poem all over again. Okay. Now, when you are done, how do you evaluate these kids at this stage? With the early grade, like I said, you don't have to bombard them. It's a step by step. It's a gradual process. So since you use the flashcard, which is the sun, okay, you can ask them to fill in the missing letters. So let's say you go for S, and then you provide the missing letters, maybe U, A, R, O, that order, okay. And once the child remembers that he or she took a flashcard which had sun, S-U-N, the child will be able to fill this letter, sun. Let's go for another one. Let's say M. The child remembers that he or she picked the flashcard which had moon written on it, which is M-O-O-N. So at this point, the child will be able to insert O. Or you can ask them to what? Rearrange the letters to form the correct word. So you can mix them. You can go for something like this, U-N-S. You've mixed them, and then you can ask them to what? Rearrange it, and you'll get this. So when it comes to the early grade classroom, it is a gradual process, like I've said. You don't have to rush. You have to take your time and make sure that your students understand whatever you've taught before you move on to the next level. Even if it's going to take you 1 week to finish this topic for your students to understand, please take your time and then do that. Don't forget to introduce TLRs, which is the teaching learning resources. Okay, it helps a lot when it gets to this stage. That's the early grade stage. And so yes, this is it with regards to early grade program. I hope it was useful, and please do well to stick and stay with us right here on this channel. My name has always been Lottie, and thank you very much for sticking and staying with us. Until next time I come your way, it is solely bye for now. Stay tuned and stay connected. Peace out.